Continuing northbound side of the 5 freeway. Again, a silver Toyota Corolla fleeing the California Highway Patrol at a high rate of speed. This all started on the 60 freeway out of Riverside, ended up on the southbound 5. Now we're going northbound on the 5 freeway, heading back towards the LA Metro, and you can see he is continuing, or he or she, I should say, indications it may be a female driver, refusing to pull over here, doing a lot of lane shifting.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown, joining Chris Christie and Air 7 HD as we continue to cover this pursuit involving the California Highway Patrol and a stolen car, believed to be a Toyota Corolla. You see the speeds there, pretty high, 84, 85 miles an hour on the northbound 5 freeway. Chris Christie, what is ahead at this point of this driver? Is there any traffic at all?
Hey there, Mark. I'm back up with you, and we are on the northbound side of the 5 freeway. A little bit of traffic coming up ahead of him here, but so far, and I keep saying him, it appears there may be a female behind the wheel here, now doing triple-digit speeds and encountering some of those brake lights that I mentioned just a second ago. You can see a big truck now in front of her, and more traffic to contend with the further north she gets here. On the southbound side of the 5 freeway was a different story. Even on the 605, it was relatively empty. Ever since we've been on the northbound side of the 5 freeway, though, things are starting to slow her down. And again, we just have information, preliminary information, that this vehicle may have originated in the South LA area. All
right, and it's interesting to see the CHP getting so close to this vehicle. They don't normally pursue this closely, do they, when they're on a freeway, especially at these speeds?
They seem to be pacing themselves. There's times where I've heard them intentionally pull back on her a little bit, especially when there are other motorists in the vicinity, and then you'll see them close in on her a little bit, whether they can try and peek inside the vehicle here and there and try and get a little more intel. Now she's exiting the freeway, coming up on, I believe this is going to be another freeway exit. No, that's Lindell Avenue. Coming up on Lindell here, or Lakewood Boulevard rather. Lakewood Boulevard, and a left turn. Left turn onto Lakewood Boulevard. But typically when they pull up right behind her, Mark, it seems like they're just trying to get a better glimpse. At one point, she was exiting the freeway really fast. I almost thought that he was going to try a pit maneuver because he pulled up right up behind her as she was exiting the freeway, but it turned out that was not to be, and it was going way too fast anyway. So now that we're on surface streets for only the second time here, we'll see how things play out. Look at that, jumping the curb here, acting much more erratically. In fact, this is a textbook case of why they really would prefer that she stayed on the freeway.
Wow.
Now doing a U-turn on Lakewood Boulevard, going the wrong way on Lakewood Boulevard.
Wow. Luckily,
a recipe
no
for
opposing
disaster.
traffic right now. Hopefully she'll get back into the, at least
shifting
into the
over
right
to the
lane.
Yep, shifting over to the correct side there.
All right.
And maybe getting back on the freeway. She's clearly making this up as she goes along. These all appear to be very random turns, random moves, another random U-turn, maybe looking for an opportunity to get back on the freeway here.
Good spot for a pit right here too, isn't it?
Yeah, and she slowed down just enough. That might have been maybe one of their first real opportunities, because I got to be honest, she's been doing pretty. She's been doing a pretty good clip ever since we joined this pursuit. In fact, at times approaching 100 miles per hour on the freeway. The driving on the surface streets has been a whole different story. Not exactly record-breaking speeds, but just really dangerous maneuvers the minute she gets off the freeway. So this is the case where we say it so often. We much prefer, along with the California Highway Patrol, much prefer to, endure this pursuit on the freeway, regardless of the outcome, because it's just a much safer situation for everybody. Despite the fact that there is traffic on the freeway, it's still safer than a surface street where you have, pedestrians and all kinds of other variables.
Yep, and now back on the freeway, the speeds are higher. I think you called it in terms of this driver, and the belief is that she is female. Is making this up as she goes along. which is leading to, this kind of wrong way stuff, which can be really dangerous. If you're improvising, you don't have a plan necessarily of even where you're trying to get to, that can be troubling. So approaching the 5 and 605 interchange, she can go either way. It looks like she's going for the 605.
On and off the freeway here, going southbound, away from South LA. Again, we were just kind of using that as a possible destination, but in fact, she is transitioning here. We'll see where this puts her. It does look like she's going to go back northbound on the 605. So you called it, Mark, getting onto the 605, going back north, basically doing a circle using the local freeway system here. She's been on the 605 before. She had gotten off of the 60 freeway and had gone southbound on the 605. Mm-hmm. And now she's entering the northbound side of the 605. I apologize. My voice is on borrowed time, Mark, but you can clearly see she's now transitioning. And there comes that primary unit once again, closing that distance behind her and maybe, again, looking for a possible pit opportunity.
All right. Well, there's a little more traffic in front of her now.
Yeah, too busy for a pit there.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do that when there's other vehicles around. You don't want to hit the other vehicles. You don't want to cause injury to anyone, including the suspect, that we might add. Everybody wants to have this end with nobody getting hurt and with the suspect safely in custody and the pursuing officers safely able to take that suspect into custody. Stolen car, do we know anything about anything else that might be associated with this?
The original want was grand theft. We've observed very heavily tinted windows there that are making it very difficult to see in the rear. But the best information that we have from law enforcement is that there are 2 people inside the front of that car. In fact, we've been able to visually confirm that. There is somebody in the passenger seat as well. Now, eastbound Telegraph Road. Getting on to Telegraph at, again, a very high rate of speed here for this area, and now a random left turn there. I think she even had the red light there. So just very concerning driving the minute she gets off the freeway. Very worrisome. You saw that move earlier, getting onto the wrong side of Lakewood Boulevard, now pulling into a much more residential street. This is going to be, look at that, Flossmoor with a lot of cross traffic. Doing about 35, 40 miles per hour on what can't be more than a 20 mile per hour speed limit street.
Right. And people who live in this area, if you are in the area of Jersey Avenue on Flossmoor Road in Whittier or the few blocks around here, please stay in your homes. The danger here is if somebody is out on the street, she could lose control of the vehicle at any time or something could happen. You don't want to be out there when this vehicle is involved in this pursuit. Now back onto
blowing
Telegraph
through all
Road.
these reds.
That was that container, that truck we saw as she got off the freeway. Passing.
Yeah, a couple close calls here, and again, taking these left turns through the red light and all at a pretty dangerous clip there. Now doing about 70 miles per hour on Telegraph, almost double the speed limit here, passing Pioneer on a relatively empty Telegraph Road. One thing about Telegraph is that it is largely an industrial road, so if you had to pick a surface street, this might be the one. And also a good opportunity in a case like this for a possible spike strip. If they could set up in advance and have the opportunity, that might be something we can expect here.
Wow, the speeds are high, and I wince every time she gets to a point where there's an intersection and hope that at least the light is with her. It was, in this case it was, in the last couple of cases it was. When you talk about this high speed, you don't want her going against running a red at these kind of speeds because, just the result could be absolutely catastrophic. She's getting into the right turn lane. Let's see if she makes a right here, if she continues straight. Continuing straight, looks like she has a green light, or had it.
CHP now with their airship still overhead. You can see that night sun occasionally coming off of her and then occasionally back on. Whether that's intentional or not could be sometimes very difficult, especially at a high rate of speed, to keep that night sun steady. But maybe they're just trying to take the pressure off slightly by taking that night sun off of her. But it does perform several goals, and one of them is actually giving other motorists in the area at least a clue that this is heading in their direction, aside from the lights and sirens on the ground down there. But still a relatively slow night, and I say slow, I mean relatively empty night on Telegraph Road here. fixing for a right turn, and that's going to be a right northbound turn onto Laurel Avenue into a shopping center.
Shopping center is, what is it, almost 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock, basically. The shopping center
It's a Walmart.
Okay, might be closed or closing
Walmart,
down. What are they
late
doing?
night, they're open. There they go.
Oh, boy.
A passenger and the driver,
Female
both running
driver,
for it into the
male
Walmart.
passenger.
Both running into the Walmart. The vehicle keeps rolling.
Wow.
And now we have a foot pursuit. Look at that. The CHP officer trying to stop the vehicle. That car crashing into that post. And now they have to enter this Walmart with a whole different set of challenges here. Obviously, they are prepared to use force, but there are shoppers inside of that Walmart, obviously, and the oh my God, the opportunity obviously for collateral damage here is obviously severe. So
looks like they
let's
got
hope that
the
those
driver.
two are not armed. Let's hope
As they were running inside, they grabbed. It looked like they got really close to the driver. It looks like that's her
Somebody's
down
down.
there. Somebody's down. No shoes.
Yeah, that might be the driver.
Yeah, it looks like she's being apprehended right now.
All right,
So
that's
the
good. That's
drivers-
good. At least one person.
The driver is hooked at this point. Now they're trying to get that passenger. I couldn't get a good description of him because it was just a couple of seconds before the guy was back inside the store, or was inside the store, running away.
Well, thankfully they only have to worry about him for the moment. And as I look at the posture here, it almost appears as though the situation inside is maybe, well, I don't want to speculate too much. Clearly that female driver is in custody. What's going on inside the store, basically anybody's guess. As shoppers start to spill out, these folks probably in line at the cash register when all of this occurred, and now there is a presumably either a search or a foot pursuit inside the store.
Right. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get a result here pretty quickly. She did not make it inside the store. Somebody grabbed her. You got two female CHP officers now who have patted her down, have her in custody. They're going to put her up against the car and do, I guess, a secondary search now. But let's go. Let's keep an eye on the
We're going to do a loop here,
store.
Mark. I've got information come from our assignment desk that the male passenger has made his way through the store towards the rear of the Walmart, and we might see some activity in those loading docks or in that receiving section there in the back of the store. So we'll see what entrances or exits are back there. It looks like there is some CHP activity, and there is...
Do we have somebody?
There he is.
Yep, I saw an officer holding up. You probably did too. At the same time I did, an officer holding up what it looked like 4 fingers.
Yep, code
which
4.
means code 4, which means things are under control here. But look how
He's
far he
hiding
got.
behind that truck there. Yeah, he was trying to, basically fled right through the store. Pretty smart of him. Came out the other side of the Walmart in the rear near the loading docks here and was looking for a hiding spot. But it looks like they were able to keep up with him. Perhaps even with the help of maybe even people inside the store or employees. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what actually happened in there. But in any event, I'm sorry, Mark. Being told that witnesses were actually following him back there, pointing in the rear of the store, and that's apparently how they were able to rendezvous with the suspect here in the that back parking lot there.
All right. Well, that's thanks to the cooperation of the public, the folks, the customers in Walmart. Doesn't take a lot of detective work. If you're a customer, you see somebody running in the store being pursued by the police, you say, there he goes, and they know where to go, and they found him. Interesting that he got all the way out of the back of the store. I used to work in grocery stores. Typically, the back is locked, closed and locked. Now, why are they running in this direction?
There's a report, I've just heard it, there's a report that somebody else is hiding. Somebody else is hiding in a different area. Whether they are connected to that vehicle, there's another person being detained.
Wow.
Another person being detained, and now you have to wonder, and perhaps we'll have to go back and re-rack that video as this pursuit came to an end in front of the Walmart. This almost looks more like the suspect that I remember seeing, but you know, your eyes can play tricks with you. It all happens so fast, and that other suspect in the rear of the store may possibly be the wrong guy. I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll find out because that is interesting. We only saw two people get out, and it's not like we followed the car for a second or two while the CHP officer tried to stop it, and then it ran into a parking post there. So there was nobody else left in that car that could have run out without them chasing them. We saw two people get out, so maybe they do have one of those people is the wrong guy.
Yeah, I think let's go ahead and Rob. Let's go ahead and re-rack that video really quick and see exactly what happened here, because I think we'll get a better look now.
Gray pants.
Look at that.
Light
a white
gray
shirt,
pants.
light pants. Looks like light gray pants. You're right. There's definitely the female driver that was taken into custody. No sign that anybody else got out of that vehicle as far as I could tell.
No.
And I don't know which suspect actually fit that description. I'll have to go back now and
We'll
see. Let's go ahead and come back out live here.
I think the first guy matched the description better with the pants. It doesn't. I'm not sure about this guy here.
First guy almost appeared I want to say a little too heavy set.
Yeah.
But this might be. I want to get a better look at those pants, because you mentioned it. They were very light gray pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. The person I saw looked a bit younger, but again, it's difficult to tell here.
Can we re-rack that the end of the pursuit again?
Yeah, let's do it. One more time, Rob, if you can. We'll go ahead and. Okay.
Well, this guy's wearing a hoodie. Unless he grabbed a hoodie
cool.
off a rack in there and tried to blend in, I don't think that's the guy.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if either of those people are the passenger, to be honest with you. But the first one, okay.
Yeah, it looks more like well, it's hard to tell. It doesn't look like this guy
is hard to tell.
that we're looking at, that we were just over.
Is the other one already in a patrol car? That's my
that guy's
question.
got dark pants and a hoodie on, so I don't think that's the guy. Couldn't have changed clothes that quickly, and frankly, he looks like he's got more hair than the other guy.
I agree.
That we saw jumping out of the car. So that may just be a different sort of situation.